All right, ladies and gentlemen, I was looking at this video here and shout out to um, Mupto Baba. I was just looking at this video and it's in regards to Twitter and how was deeply involved at the time. This is way prior to Elon Musk purchasing Twitter. So it's how Twitter was deeply involved. And it's the same thing for a lot of the big tech companies, Facebook, YouTube, all these big tech companies. They were all involved and they're still involved in manipulating what's available out there for the average person to see and for making sure it's if labeled as misinformation. So I was looking at this video and I want to point out a few things that these psycho Demoncrats are always talking about, and I'm just going to point them out real quick. We're going to show the video, and I have the link to this full video inside the description. So let's listen to this real quick so we can hear what this Republican lady is saying, and you'll get her name right now. Here we go.
Chair recognizes Ms. Crockett.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. MAGA Republicans can't let go. That should be the name of this hearing. I'm glad that seemingly we have now accepted that President Joe Biden won the election, even though now we are blaming President Trump's loss on Twitter. Can we finally?
Okay, so first of all, she's saying that the Republicans are saying that President Trump lost because of Twitter. And she's excited that everybody's saying that Joe Biden won. Obviously, he did not win fair and square, but he is in the Oval Office, okay? So we have to, what else are we going to do, okay? Other than what they thought they were trying to say was being done on January 6th. Nothing, that's all a facade. January 6th is a facade. But what she's saying that because the Hunter Biden laptop was suppressed, that had nothing to do with President Trump's loss. And if you look at the video, you'll find out, if you look at the beginning part of this, a lot of people that supposedly voted for Joe Biden would have changed their vote if they would have known that the laptop was real and it was out there. But it was suppressed. It was kept out of the mainstream media, and they did not bring it up until after the election. How convenient. And then later on now after well over a year, 2 years, now they're saying it's real, it's not Russian disinformation. So that would have been a sway of 3 to 4 million votes, and President Trump lost during that election by only about 100,000 votes in about 3 or 4 states. It was a very close election, even though we feel it was way, way off. President Trump, in my opinion, he should have won in a landslide. So the bottom line is the suppression of the information allowed the people to vote Democrat for Joe Biden, and they said now that they wouldn't have if they would have known all this information was true, but they didn't put it out. So let's let her continue with her lies and bull crap. Here we go.
Finally let it go. This is why Democrats are reinforcing that in this hearing, we should be talking about the threats to our democracy. That's the real threat, not an old article that seemingly couldn't reach the viewership it sought through its own platform to disparage and attempt to skew the election in favor of a twice.
Okay, so now she's saying, let's pay close attention to what she's saying here, okay?
President who lost President Trump's loss on Twitter. Can we finally let it go? This is why Democrats are reinforcing that in this hearing, we should be talking about the threats to our democracy. That's the.
So right there, threats to our democracy. One of the biggest things about democracy is voting, okay? Her threats to democracy, as she's going to point out, are probably January 6th, okay? This is all propaganda and hype that happened in January 6th. There are some things that happened, but it wasn't done by the MAGA Republicans. And I'm tired of her. She uses MAGA Republicans as something bad. If you live in America, you should want to make America great. And that's the bottom line. So the threat to democracy in this video's case is the suppression of information that altered people's choices on who they're going to vote for, and they would have voted for somebody else, even if it wasn't for Trump, you know, the bottom line is it was a bad vote result because the people were not informed. We're going to listen to something else now.
Real threat, not an old article that seemingly couldn't reach the viewership it sought through its own platform to disparage and attempt to skew the election in favor of a twice impeached former president who.
Okay, now, twice impeached. Okay. President Trump was in fact impeached, but it was on a political line, and he was never removed from office. Why? Because it's all bullcrap. Okay. There is nothing on President Trump. They have never found anything. And I'll be honest with you, it's amazing to me how they haven't found anything. I mean, an average person, they would have found something, right? But President Trump, I mean, to me, it's pretty darn incredible. As much as they hate this man for coming into office and trying to disrupt the swamp and try to disrupt the global world order movement, it's amazing to me how they have found nothing. They did impeach him because the Democrats were in charge and control of the House. Okay. But they could not remove him from office because the Republicans were in charge of the Senate. And most people in the Senate, they know. I mean, the sad part is that Democrats no longer care about the truth. They just care about power. And that's unfortunate, but it's the truth. So let's continue. We're almost done with this video.
Lost a secure and fair election. As a Texan who served in the House and fled the state as MAGA Republicans there pushed an agenda just as insidious as the foreign interference we experienced in the 2016 election, we should be.
So there we go. MAGA this, MAGA that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you live in America, you should want to make America great again, okay, and keep America great, meaning giving everybody freedom, giving them all opportunity, being able to do whatever you want as far as being able to pursue your dreams and goals, okay, and start your companies and be able to do all of those things. You can do that in America, okay? And if you don't believe it, then you need to really educate yourself and get away from all the negative naysayers that are in front of you. You need to understand, if you don't believe that you can do whatever you want to do, and why do you think everybody, there was over 2 million immigrants that have came to America. They're not coming into America because they want to be oppressed. They're coming to America because this is the land of opportunity. It is absolutely obvious. And these Demoncrats are lying to you. And I'm tired of it, and I'm going to expose everything that these people are doing. Let's continue.
Be talking about what they don't want to talk about as they continue to cut you off as you try to talk about things such as interfering with our democracy and how there has been an inciting of political violence against individuals as well as our democracy as a whole. We are supposed
inciting violence. Okay. Now, I don't have the video right now. Maybe I'll post it if I can find it in the description. But if you listen to the entire video and maybe even look at the tweets that Trump did, he never talked about violence. He talked about going over, letting them know that we didn't agree and peacefully protest. The only people that say that there was incitement of violence is the Demoncrats and the mainstream media and all this, the big techs, the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Twitters at the time. That is all a lie. He didn't do it. You have to look at all the video and see for yourself. So if you don't know that is a fact, educate yourself and stop going along with this narrative because you're only listening to one side of the story. Continue.
live in the land of the free, and when some people are afraid of losing power, they engage in conspiracy theories and distractions such as the Joe Biden.
Okay, yeah, boy, this is loaded with some good stuff. When people are afraid of losing power, the Demoncrats are afraid of losing power. And that is why they're trying, and they want to keep power. And that's why they're doing these things like pinning people against one another with racial lines. And also people against, the people that are, that are in the LGBTQ plus community against the other, God-fearing community, trying to pin those people against each other. They're trying to create confusion. They're letting people fly into the border, trying to create distraction and confusion. They're trying to take away your rights to free speech. They're trying to take away your right to bear arms. They're doing all of these things. They're the ones that want to control and be in power, and they're scared to death. And that's why they don't like Trump. Think about this. That is the reason they don't like Trump, because he is a powerful man. He knows how to do business. He knows how to run a business, major businesses, a lot of money. And a lot of these politicians that come into political arena, they have no idea about how to run business and deal with people, okay, and things like that. So there is so much out there regarding the Demoncrats that are power hungry, that want to control you, and there's nothing on the Republicans. And if they are, it's with the swampy Republicans, okay? Because some of them are part of the swamp as well. But the people that want America to make America great and have the America first, the American people first, those are the ones that love what's going on. So let's continue here.
A candidate at the time, not government actor at the time, colluded with social media to win. So let me say thank you for showing up for this political theater. Unfortunately, the American people.
You know what she's calling this political theater, but this is the information that needs to come out to the American people because it's suppressed everywhere else. Okay? It's important that the information comes out. And guess what? You can get the information. You can make your decision. It's not based on the government saying, oh, this is misinformation, hide it. This is disinformation, hide it. This is lies, hide it. No, let it all come out. Like I said in my other video, all speech is free speech, whether you like it or not.
People deserve better of its leaders. They deserve a robust conversation around the very real and very present threats to our democracy, the greatest democracy in this world. So with that being said.
Okay, now she's saying greatest democracy in the world because it supports her narrative. She's trying to get to a point here, right? This is the most incredible country on the planet. It's going down, down, down right now, but it is an incredible country and we need to protect it. And that's what I'm about. Okay, I'm about exposing the lies, exposing the mistruths, letting people listen to the other side of the story because I'm tired of the lies. And that's all, unfortunately, like I said before, if the average person is getting up in the morning and they're going to go to work and then they're going to work all day and then they're going to come home and maybe they want to get some news, they're going to hear some news on the radio. It's all one-sided. They're going to get the news at, other places, one-sided. They're going to get it on social media. It's all one-sided because they silence the other side. They get home and listen to the mainstream news. It's all one-sided. That's why we're trying to get these videos out through where it's not silenced any way we can. That's the whole point of this. We're going to continue now.
Let me be clear. I believe that there has been testimony previously by Miss Navaroli. I hope I'm not just killing your name right now. At some point, you stated if January
can't even
like
read a name.
That language. If we would have seen that happen in any other country with any other leader, Twitter would have acted completely differently. It is my understanding from this statement, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you almost felt as if Trump was treated differently. In fact, that you may have been of the impression that he was treated with more deference than other world leaders. Is that true?
Yes, as I testified earlier today, Twitter bent and broke its own rules in order to protect dangerous speech, like the tweets that were directed towards Representative Ocasio-Cortez.
And when we talk about bending, it's my understanding from another deposition.
I wanted to mention before this gets too far past that, do you understand that Twitter, and there's really no reason for it, okay, for Twitter to delete President of the United States of America, President Trump's Twitter account? No basis for it. It's all lies. And if they can do that to the President of the United States of America, we have a big problem. Thank God Elon Musk now has purchased Twitter and he's exposing all of this. Thank God for people like Elon Musk and other leaders that are exposing all this information. Let's continue with the lies this woman is speaking.
That there were actual alarms that would go off if someone would access Trump's Twitter account other than, I believe, the CEO.
It was my understanding that alarms would ring within Twitter if the account was accessed outside of a select group of individuals who had access to that account.
Are you aware of this being an
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about the alarms. That's the first I have heard of it. But guess what? If there are alarms, he's the president of the United States of America. Okay? That's a big deal. Okay? And we'll continue. I'm not even going to talk anymore about that.
ongoing practice for other individuals' Twitter accounts?
At my time at Twitter, the former President Donald Trump's account was the only account that I did not have access to.
Okay, so we know that there weren't individual actors running around Twitter setting off alarms every other day. Is that correct?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. Now, as we talk about January 6th, because I think that's the only thing we should be talking about, what I want to talk about is what, and anyone can answer this question. Did you see a correlation between a rise in homegrown domestic white supremacy online as it correlates to leading up to January 6th?
I can answer that. So some of the things that we were seeing.
Anyway, come on, guys. Making America great has zero to do with white supremacy. I'm not for white supremacy, and neither are most of the average Americans. We just want the country to be fantastic and incredible again, to be self-sustaining again, to provide its own energy and resources and jobs and opportunities, and to limit the influx of immigration coming in. It's all crap, okay? So I'm basically done. I'm going to stop my share with this here. So look, the bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, we need to make sure that we get the truth out there. And that's my whole purpose. So please do me a favor. If you get a chance, like, share, subscribe, and please don't forget to support us, my work, whenever you possibly can. We'll catch you on some more videos. This went a little bit longer than I thought, but I think it's good points that I made. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you on the next videos.